Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Gooner, and welcome to a different show this time. I do apologise. I have got the hiccups this evening on account of eating a lot of food. But yeah, listen, I hope you're all good. And like I say, welcome to a new show. Now, this is where you get your chance to have your say. So I've put the link in StreamYard. Sorry, I put the StreamYard link in the chat, and yeah, click on that and you come into the studio, have your say, have a little bit of a chat. Like I said, this is just a trial, so I want to see how this goes. Probably aim to do this maybe about once a month. So yeah, I'll probably do this once a month. Give you guys a bit of a chance to come and have your say. So if you're brave enough, come on in. Like I say, you've got the link there in the chat. Big up to 5 people watching. Yeah, big up to all you guys watching. So yeah, anything you want to come and talk about, come and talk about. But I just want to recap on the earlier news. I did do a stream on it earlier that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has signed a new deal. God, this ain't great, doing a stream with hiccups. Big up, Jamie. So yeah, if you want to come on, have your say. It'd be great. It'd be great to it'd be great to get you guys involved. It'd be great to get you guys involved. But yeah, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has signed a new deal, which I broke that news just after it broke on Arsenal, broke on Sky Sports. And yeah, how are you guys feeling about that? If you want to come on, talk about that, you can do. All I ask as well, that if you come on, put your name in the chat. Put your name in when you come in to the studio. I'll ask you to put your name in. Put your correct name so I know who you are. And yeah, it'd be good to it'd be good to get you guys involved. Like I say, I want you guys you guys like I say, without you guys there'd be no channel. Without you guys there wouldn't be any channel. So yeah, this I want to give you guys a chance to have your say, really. And like I say, this is just a trial as well. And like I say, I'll probably do this once a month. But yeah, listen, there's lots of topics to discuss in the world of football. It doesn't have to be just Arsenal. It can be any topic surrounding football. So yeah, big up to 4 people watching this live. God, I don't really know what to talk about until somebody comes in. So yeah, let's talk about for a little bit about Aubameyang. Are you guys happy that he's coming? Are you guys happy that he's signed? Big up to you, Steve. Big up to you, Jamie. Yeah, like I say, if any of you guys want to come on, the link is there in the chat, so just click on that and it'll bring you right into the studio. If you guys want to come on and just have your say, now is the time to do it. This is the show to do it. So so yeah. But yeah, I'm good, guys. Just listen, I'm buzzing that that we signed Aubameyang. I'm really happy about that he's signed an extension. And I'm just buzzing for Saturday now. The game against West Ham is going to be interesting. That's what I want to see. The game against West Ham. I want to see him get a couple of goals and really concentrate on his football. Now that he's signed that deal, I want him to just focus on his football. And now that he's signed, we can focus on the football side of things. Listen, we know that the transfer window is still open. We know that the transfer window is got a couple of weeks to run, but there is a season in the midst of that as well. So, and I think it's just as important to get results on the pitch as it is to bring in the right players. So yeah, that's so Steve is saying he hopes that a Aubameyang deal is it will end the cycle of selling our best players. Yeah, I agree. I think it will actually, and I think this is not just about keeping a Aubameyang, but it's about making a big statement. So yeah, it's about I'm going to bring in my first guest, Sam G.
Hello.
Hey, Sam.
All right, Danny, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You're the first guest.
Oh yes, privilege.
Kick off the show. So, Sam, let's talk about Aubameyang first and foremost. Which
that's the big news now, isn't it?
The big news. So, what did you make of it?
Well, first of all, it's the worst kept secret in history, isn't it? Well, we knew it was coming, of course. We knew it was coming with all the hints he was giving us and everything. It was dragging out so long. It just became like, I mean, like with me, I just didn't care anymore. It's like, I mean, come on now, I don't give a shit now. Just it's gone beyond caring now, But I'll tell you what, when they actually did that video today, the live video and all that, and the way it was done and everything, the way it was presented, I thought it was very well done, and you know what, it was really good, and of course I'm absolutely over the moon that he signed for us to continue with us. Of course I am. As an Arsenal fan, you've got to be, because listen, he's our main guy, he's our main goal scorer. He's still looking good. He looks nearly better than ever at the moment, the way he's banging in goals. So yeah, it's great for us, isn't it?
Do you know what I thought when I saw that video as well? So they this might just be my way of thinking, but they built Arteta wants to build the team around Aubameyang, and I kind of felt with the way the video was done, letting him take control, letting him do his own announcement. I thought that was really. Yeah. I thought that was like a nice little touch, rather than them coming out going, Aubameyang signed a deal, but letting him make the announcement. That just shows how important he is, and I felt a bit sorry for the guy, because I think he was a bit nervous, like with all the people there in the press.
Yeah, there was. He was doing it live on Instagram, and there was over 150,000 people watching on Instagram. Imagine that, 150,000 watching the live feed. I mean, no wonder he felt a bit nervous.
It was, mate. I felt a bit. He was like, I'm really nervous, and when when he was going through the phone calls, I thought, oh my god, he's going to announce another signing in here or something. That did when he had Righty, and then who was the other guy he had on after?
It was Lacazette.
Was it Lacazette? Was it Lacazette? Because
he's talking Lacazette. His best mate, isn't it? He's his best mate of the club, isn't it?
Because Lacazette was there when he. Lacazette was.
No, he was on Instagram. He was talking to him on Instagram. There was actually no one there with him. There was only the camera guy. filming him while he was talking on Instagram, in the stadium there with the, basically on the sideline where you could see all the stadium behind him, and he had the FA Cup with him as well. He must be sleeping with that FA Cup or something. I don't know. He's got it with him all the time, anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, that's good though. I thought the way it was done, and when he called Righty, and you know what, Righty said something very good, nice to him. He said that you signed and stayed when the club needs you the most, and
Exactly.
That volumes.
Exactly.
That speaks volumes because he could have gone to, but he probably did have better offers than Arsenal.
Might have. Well, there's talk of Barcelona and Real Madrid is what's in the rumours, and I'm guessing both of those teams could have offered him the same, or if not more money, of course. So you're so right with what you're saying, and this whole, I agree with you completely, 100%. What Wright said was so. For me, it was actually touching because it is a link between the past and the present. You got Wright, the legend of the past. And you got Aubameyang, who's going to be a legend of the present. And it was just such a nice link between the past and the present, that legend thread, that red thread going through the club, continuing with Aubameyang. And I'm just so happy, like Wright said, that he's actually, decided to stay with us, not move on to someone else and break that mold, because that's been our problem, hasn't it? The last nearly on 10 years or so more, where our best players move on to pastures new instead of staying on because they don't believe in the project, believe in what we're doing. But now Aubameyang is fully invested. I think he really sees what Arteta wants to do, and I'm just so pleased now he's decided to stay, and hopefully we're going to build it around him and get some trophies.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of comments here. One from Arsenal Matic says,
smash the like button, everyone. You got to smash the like button.
Yeah, smash the like button. Like I say, guys, this is your show, so if you want to come on, like I say, the link is there.
On. The link's there.
The link is there. Link is there. It's right at the top comment.
Come on
and have your say. Now is the chance to have your say. It's all well and good putting comments in, but this is your chance to come on and get your voice heard.
Just come on here live with us and have a chat with us. It's no need to be scared, just come on and have a chat with us. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it, seriously. So just come on.
Listen.
Daniel, just wanted to say, if you could just change the
camera. I was going to do that.
The layout, so we're not so big, make it a bit smaller. That's it. That's the one. That's it.
Yeah. I was going to do that because it does. I forgot when somebody comes in, you have to change it because otherwise it just looks an absolute mess.
It looks a bit big otherwise, but it's nice. It's good. Pick up everyone in the chat. We've got some of the regulars. We've got Taib, Jamie, got Steve, the Misfit, Grant McRoberts, our favourite Scottish Ranger supporter.
Yeah.
And we've got this Arsenal maniac as well, saying we expected this anyway. Don't want Arsenal fans to be sidetracked from the fact Kroenke the Leech has put F all in the club the past 5 years, and the players who need to push on. Let's be positive about this today. I mean, I think this is really positive news. I think we should stay positive, and this is really something we can build on now. I mean, now we've got Aubameyang in place. We can really build a team around him now.
And also, we have to be positive, because for years and years we've watched our star players walk out the door, and today, well, we maybe even before today, because like you said, Sam, it's the best kept secret. But we know today we made a statement, and that statement is that, listen, we're not letting our players walk out the door. We're going to try and keep hold of them. And I feel like with us, the chips are falling in the right place for us now. Everything's clicking into place. We got Arteta, he come in, done a great job so far. We won the FA Cup. Then we went on to win the Community Shield. We've addressed areas that needed to be addressed. Yes, we know that there is some areas to still address. Aubameyang signed. Now what's next? What's next? And
Well,
it's like I was saying, but it's like I was saying before you come on, Sam. I was saying that we have to remember as well, amongst all this transfer speculation, we have got a football season. So and getting players in the door, I think is half of it. I think the other half is we've got to get results on the pitch, and to keep that positive momentum going.
Yeah, I tell you what, mate, you're so right in everything you're saying there. That's it. You know, I mean, it's a real big statement, like you say, both to the fans and to the footballing world as well. You know, that Arsenal now, we mean business. We've turned a corner. You know, we've gone from selling our best players now to keeping them, because we haven't just done it with Aubameyang as well. We've kept a few players, haven't we, now on new contracts. You know, they've extended their contracts, so you know, it's a good thing to see. I think everyone's invested in Arteta and his vision. I think Arteta's had, especially, of course, he's had meetings alone with Aubameyang, talking to Aubameyang because he's the captain as well. So they will have those talks. But I think the whole first team squad has been, gone. But they've gone through. Arteta's gone through his vision for the club the next 3 years. Bringing in certain players and what he wants to do and everything, and I think everyone's invested in it. At least the players who he wants to build on going forwards. And I think he's told Aubameyang the players he's thinking of bringing in, or he reckons they're going to bring in, and I think Aubameyang's staying to be a part of that because he can see that we're going in the right direction, and with one or two extra players now, either an Aouar or a Partey, or maybe if we're lucky, even both of them. If we just get one of them or even both of them, we're really going to push on and be even more competitive towards the top of the table. So I think Aubameyang sees this, and of course I think he actually loves being at Arsenal. I mean, I know it sounds crazy for a modern footballer now in these days. I know they're all mercenaries; they're only thinking about money. Of course, that's the way it's become. But I also think you can see with the way Aubameyang interacts with the fans and some of the legends and the way you can see the way he interacts with the other players as well. He seems to love being at Arsenal. He likes being in his family. Obviously, very happy where he is as well. He seems to really enjoy it, and I think that's been a factor in it as well. He likes Arsenal, wants to be here, and I just want to finish off my little point here by saying that small video they released, not the live feed thing they did, but the video, the announcement of him talking about he wants to become a legend at the club, and he basically says at the beginning that Arsenal is a special club. That you get a special feeling at Arsenal. And I thought when I heard that, and you hear the legends throughout our history have said the same thing. You just get a special feeling about being at Arsenal. It made it more clear to me that Aubameyang really, really enjoys being at Arsenal. He loves being here, and he wants to be a legend. He wants to go down. I think he's aiming for Thierry Henry's goal scoring record. To be honest, I'd love for him to beat it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as well, Sam, if it has something to do with other big players who have left Arsenal, and that they've come out and said that they regret leaving Arsenal and that maybe they should have stayed, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So
we've seen many examples of that, haven't we, Daniel? We've seen many examples, like you say, And
Arsenal, I think as well, when he talks about Arsenal being special, I think that's a lot of that is the fans, because we do
Well, look at the
tracking flames and
I think he recognizes the love, and the passion, and he has that interaction, especially with a few of the fans, mainly Troops and a couple of others. He actually has that real interaction with them, and I think he loves that, and he sees how much the fans adore him, and I think that's a part of it as well. Of course, it's not the main thing. Of course, that is not the biggest thing about it for him. But I think it does. I think it does add in, and I think it's a big part of the equation as well. You know, and I think he loves it.
So yeah, it's mad. Nitish
is yeah. Listen, Nitish, if you want to come on, or anyone in the chat, guys, come on, Taib or Jamie or Grant.
Come on. Yeah,
anyone who wants to come on, just there's that link at the top of the chat there, right at the beginning of the chat. Just click on that link, and we can get you on.
Now I said this is your show, guys. I know you don't normally come on regularly. I know there's a few of you that come on regularly, but you know what? It's open house tonight. Anybody's welcome on the chat, and like I say, there's no pressure, and you all become YouTube stars.
Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Come on and have a chat. It's it's not as difficult as it looks, guys. Come on, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So.
And there really is nothing to it. There's nothing to listen. When I first started, do you know what? When I first started doing YouTube stuff, was obviously the first time. The very first time was obviously when I did my first interview with AFTV, and it is daunting when you know you've got cameras filming you. You get a little bit starstruck, and you sort of think, Jesus Christ, what do I say? Is it going to come out like garbage? And then when I started my own channel, and I thought, you go and look at my earlier videos right from the beginning, and the videos now, it's just all about getting confident. And now I forget even the cameras are rolling, because you just talk to mates about football, you talk to people about football, and you forget it, and it is easy. It's not easy, but it is easy in the sense, it's one of them things that you forget people are watching. And
it's like you say, you get comfortable with just talking to the other people on the show, and you chat about the things you're chatting about, and you just forget really that you're actually doing it in front of people. I mean, that's what I feel here when we're on these shows. I just feel like I'm talking to you guys, on a normal like FaceTime, like a camera on the mobile type session thing or whatever, and forget that there's loads of other people watching, So listen, guys, just come on, don't be scared, just come on, Jamie's saying, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like coming on because I don't want to show my face, and I'm very focused on playing FIFA. Sorry, lads. Listen, you want to play FIFA, you play FIFA, but everyone's welcome to take part in the chat as well, of course.
Exactly. Listen,
I'd like to see Taib come on. This Taib guy, I had a laugh with him for so long now. I'd love to see Taib come on, have a laugh with him, have a football chat with Taib would be funny.
Yeah, we all want to see Taib. we want to see the Poonmeister. Come on,
see him in real life what he looks like. It'd be good fun. But Nitish just saying he wants to come on wants to do the Giroud debate.
Click on the link, Nitesh. Click on the link.
We've got loads of good people in the chat, haven't we? I mean, there's so many good people.
We do.
Show up for every show. They show up and they have a chat with us, and a chat with each other. It's good, isn't it?
It's good. It's nice,
Smash the like button. Smash the like button, folks.
Big up to 5 of you watching. Do smash the likes, everybody.
So what do you reckon? Daniel? Do you reckon we'll now we've got Aubameyang squared away? I think we've got to work on getting some players out the door now, to be honest, before we bring in anyone. Don't you think?
Sorry, say that again, Sam.
I was just saying, now we've got Aubameyang squared away, I think we can sort of focus now on the rest of the window, what we're going to do. And I'm just saying, I was just going to ask you, what do you think? I think we have to focus now on trying to get some players out the door before we can. I think we need to get players out the door before we can bring in any more players. I was wondering what you think about that. If we need to sell now before we buy.
Yeah. Now we've got Aubameyang, which was the main one. the main guy we wanted to sign a contract extension, and I said, and even if we don't sign anybody substantial in this window, if we can pin down Aubameyang, that's still a good window, considering the fact that we always let our players go, our star players go, because it's not just about extending a contract, it's about making a statement. And I feel now we've done that, I think two things need to happen. A, we need to focus on the football, and Aubameyang needs to focus on the football. And also, like you say, we need to get players out, like Torreira,
Guendouzi,
Kolasinac,
yeah.
And then look at getting players in, But I said this as well, Sam. Now Aubameyang's shown faith in Arsenal. Arsenal need to show faith in him and repaying it. And I don't just mean, paying his wages, but repaying him back with ambition. So go and get those players, get one or the other. Listen, the guy's coming to. This is probably his last contract in his career. So and he's hedged it on Arsenal. So now we need to not let him down. And I'm fully gonna be behind Aubameyang. And it was really nice to see when he said, I can't wait for you guys to all come back to the stadium. And
exactly.
He's a fans player, is Aubameyang, and he's a fans player. He likes interacting with the fans.
Got good rapport with the fans. And just want to tell you, Nitish, I think he's backstage.
Yeah.
I was just gonna go back and change my name to not Guendouzi.
All right, Nitish, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I was on a call with a girl, so got a bit delayed.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ! Nitesh was having phone sex.
Booty call. That's what it was.
Nitesh was having phone sex. Jesus.
Telephone sex.
That's why he was talking. That's why he wants to talk about Giroud, because he was like in that hotel room like Giroud was, wasn't he? Jesus Christ.
But before that, I'll just say one thing with respect to Guendouzi. I remember when this story came out, that Draxler for Guendouzi. Okay, there are two reasons why Arsenal fans said no. One, because obviously Draxler's career is dead, but the fact they understood that PSG getting Guendouzi were getting the better deal than Arsenal getting Draxler. That means they know that Guendouzi can do something if given the right time and if given another opportunity. So otherwise, if Arsenal fans were really like, okay, it's Guendouzi, get rid of him, take any player that we can get for Guendouzi and some money, they would have said straight away that let's go for Draxler. But the point is that they also know, maybe yes, there is an attitude problem, but that should be corrected. He's still very young, and if he can perform like he was performing well under Emery and under Arteta to an extent as well, I think he can still revive his career and he can be a top player for us as well.
I do. I think. Listen, personally, I agree with Arteta's decision of leaving him out because of the whole attitude thing, and maybe there is still an issue there where he's sort of not wanting to apologise, or he's not really meeting what Arteta wants. But listen, as a player, I think Guendouzi still has great potential, and I would love to see him, I would love to see him in that, like now we had El Neni, who I think played very well in that deep lying role, and I would love to see Guendouzi in Xhaka's role, to be honest, because I think Guendouzi is better than Xhaka at bringing the ball forward, and I think his distribution's better. So I would love to see Guendouzi in that situation. So I think he can still give us a lot, and it's a shame that we're in this situation with him, isn't it? Because I agree. I still think there's a lot there we can get out of Guendouzi.
Yep.
I think with Guendouzi, listen, I'm mixed on Guendouzi because the talent's there. The talent is there, no question. But I'm also of the opinion, if we're going to get our top targets, then there's going to have to be a sacrifice. And at the moment, he is a sellable asset.
And unfortunately, at the moment he is. That's what they've decided. So yeah, it is. He's going to be. He's probably going to be one of the ones they're going to sell or get rid of somehow. Unfortunately, I just think it's unfortunate because Guendouzi. I'm one of the people. I know there's not very many of us, but I'm one of the people who think he's a good player. I think what he does is good. I mean, yes, he's had some mistakes, but I think seeing him drive forward on that ball with his distribution and the effort he puts in, and I think I think he's a good player. I think he could, if he could develop even further. I think he could be a really good midfielder for us. But unfortunately, he has an attitude problem, doesn't he? I think people focus on that and they forget his footballing ability because he has the attitude problem, unfortunately. But yeah, that's just the way it is, isn't it? And so of course we have to make sacrifices, and of course it seems like Guendouzi unfortunately is going to be one of those midfielders now who has to go.
Yeah, but I would rather sell El Neni over Guendouzi if I had the option. But we know that we won't be getting any great money for him.
Yeah, that's the thing. El Neni's not going to generate some great money.
And that too not because of his age, but the fact that Guendouzi is still, I think, better than El Neni as well overall.
Oh, I agree. He's better than El Neni. I think Guendouzi, maybe if we taught him a bit more, how to maybe to get stuck in and tackle a bit more, I think he could play a deep lying role very well as well. But for me, Guendouzi is really good in that slightly more advanced role where he's not advanced, but he's like that. He's not deep lying, but he's in between. He'll be great in a midfield three. If you had a midfield three, where you have one deep lying, you have one in between, and you have one attacking. That in between position, I think he could do really, really well because he's good at he's quick on the ball. He's got good distribution, and he's got good vision. And he's good at driving the ball forwards as well, carrying the ball forward. So yeah, I think in that type of role he could do really well. But Arteta's got his vision on this, hasn't he?
I will agree with you on the part that he would do well in a 4-3-3, but I will not agree with you that he'll do in between. I think he'll do better in the attacking one because when he comes back to defend, he is very silly, and when he's carrying the ball from the back, he makes those stupid passes. So I think if he has to been given the role of carrying the ball forward rather than trying to be back and just defend, I think he can do that better. The in-between role, I think, can be given to a player like maybe Ceballos, and maybe Xhaka can be the one who's only staying back.
Yeah, I don't really. I think he's also he's quite good at defending and blocking. Blocking routes and things like that. And I think he's good at. I think his passing is actually quite good. I think we've seen a lot of good passes from Guendouzi. That's one of the things I think people underestimate with Guendouzi. His distribution. His distribution is actually very good, but people get really hung up on these few mistakes he makes. And with Xhaka, it's now all of a sudden, he makes some mistakes and they're all forgiven. It's like he's a new player again. And but with Guendouzi, it's not. If he makes a mistake, he's terrible. Yeah, it's not really fair, is it? But anyway, it is what it is.
I think as well, Guendouzi should look at Xhaka and know that, listen, if you apply yourself correctly, there is a way back.
Yeah.
Because what Xhaka done was far worse, in my opinion, than what.
Oh yes, far worse.
Yeah.
But Guendouzi's obviously. I think what it is Guendouzi. It's almost like he. Listen, of course, none of us really knows what's actually going on there behind the scenes. We wouldn't get to know that. But what it seems like is like he's not apologizing. It's like he's not accepting that he's in the wrong. He seems to be maybe that type of young person who thinks he's doing the right thing.
Obviously, Anelka's his role model.
Yeah, he seems to be thinking that what he did against Brighton was the right thing, and he wasn't in the wrong. Yeah. He should have been backed up, and I think he's got that attitude where he thinks he's in the right basically, and he doesn't want to accept that he's in the wrong. Being that pride, he's probably got that pride in him. And it is what it is, isn't it, with him, unfortunately.
And I said it. I think the media made a lot of that incident, and I think that has impacted his career as well, because the media highlighted too much into it, that about the wage thing and all that, and that nonsense, and that is why that was noticed by maybe by Arteta as well. And I don't think he did too much wrong against Brighton, because standing
No,
up for his
exactly. I was going to say, you
yeah,
think about it, back in the day, of course, it's all to do with reputation and who it is, right? Because it's Guendouzi, who many of the fans don't really like. When he does something like that against Brighton, they go, "Oh, what are you doing, you stupid idiot? Oh my God, what are you doing? Terrible," right? Whereas if Vieira would have done that, something he did several times, similar things to different players several times. No, that's the passion of Vieira. He's a winner. He's doing it for Arsenal. He's doing it for the team. He's sticking it to the other player for the players. And of course we liked Vieira for doing that, for showing that passion. But when Guendouzi does the same thing, we all hate him. It's not really fair, is it?
not all.
No, exactly. I thought the player should have backed him up. It's terrible. He was the one showing passion. Mopai, basically injured. I know he didn't really intend to injure him, but he injured Leno, and it was just that smug way about him. Mopai was so smug, like, oh yeah, that was good type of thing. And then that pissed off Guendouzi, and Guendouzi reacted because he was backing up Leno, he was backing up the team. And no one joined him. Everyone's like, oh, we don't want to take part in this. Everyone was pussies basically, apart from him. And he's taking all the blame and all the flack.
Yeah, and I said that he did it smartly, because he did it at the end of the game. If probably Arsenal would have won that game, I think the reaction would have been like, there wouldn't have been any reaction from him, because we won. And he played well in that game. It's not he played poorly. The defense let them down again. The defense let them down again. Another crappy defense. And the 4-3-3 didn't work out for us.
No, exactly. Guendouzi was made a scapegoat, unfortunately. And that's the thing. He's been made a scapegoat. And but what's going on behind the scenes, I don't really know, because I would have thought by now they would have sort of, he would have maybe sorted out and apologised or whatever and be back in the squad. But I think something really bad has happened between them.
Yeah. I think what it is where Guendouzi, this is where he's showing his immaturity, because like Arteta's banged on about players, that he wants to see players, with mature and obviously whether you've got the talent on the pitch or not, but if you're not showing it if you're not applying yourself correctly, and clearly Guendouzi isn't, and I think that's what's maybe leaving him out of the squad. But I think the reason why we're not getting any resolution is because Guendouzi is young and naive, and he's still thinking he's in the right.
Most likely.
I think the fact that if he realized that he was being made a scapegoat, he would not apologize. I mean, if you are making someone a scapegoat, why will that person apologize?
That's what I was just saying. I think that's my theory. Is I don't think he feels like he's done the wrong thing, and I think he's got such a strong, sense of character and belief in himself that he's thinking, listen, I'm not going to go out and apologize for something I don't think is wrong. I think the players were not right for, they didn't back me up. That is why I feel when someone say he's not mature, I feel it could also be the opposite, that he's more mature. And he's saying that I have not done anything wrong. You guys didn't back me up. That is wrong on your part. And the other thing is, but there has been some movement there. Otherwise, Arteta wouldn't say that I'm giving him a clean slate. Because after that, people were saying that Arteta said that because he wanted to sell him. But if that was the case, he didn't include him in the Community Shield team. Look at that Villa. Look at that the last friendly we had against Villa. Even Ozil was used. We didn't have any players. Players were injured and away on international duty, so we had so few players left. We had to use Ozil basically. Mesut, can you please put away Fortnite? We just need you for this game against Villa. Can you come and play? Yeah, sure, okay. And even Guendouzi didn't play. We didn't even use Guendouzi.
No.
Yeah, so those
Anyway,
rumors.
Russ is in the chat. Hello, Russ, Hayden, Jamie, Russ Morgan, Mr. Fanta. I know it says banter, but I look at the avatars. I want Fanta every time I see it. My God, I'm fancy a Fanta now. Tai, Bertrand. Listen, any of you guys want to come in on here and chat with us? Russ, I know you like having a chat. Hayden, maybe, or Bertrand. Listen, the link is at the top of the chat. I don't know if you can still see it right at the beginning of the chat. Maybe Daniel can maybe put it out again if he wants the link to come on. You guys can come on and have a chat with us. We're just talking about general, Aubameyang and Arsenal stuff now.
It's on top, just the way you like it.
Shit, I haven't. I need to. My fucking battery. My battery died on my phone, so I need to go. I need to fire this up.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, if you guys can see it on the chat there, it's right at the top comment. I did try and pin the comment, but it wouldn't let me do it earlier.
Hang on, let me see if I can, because you sent me the link. Let me see.
I put it in the private chat. You can just copy it from there.
Oh, okay. I'll do it then.
Yeah. So any of you guys, come on, listen. Don't be shy. We don't bite. We're not.
I bite, but not people on the panel. Someone else.
I'll buy it if you give me 20 quid.
I now remembered the bottle from Brownie's fridge.
Yeah.
Luckily, I guess Daniel didn't hear about that bottle from Brownie's fridge.
Yes, I did. I did hear that. Yeah.
Okay. That beer nightmare won't go away that easily.
There we go. I posted the link now. So anyone wants to come on, just hit the link.
He's probably wanked into it. That's probably what.
Nope.
Oh my God.
That bottle went other places.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, come on, come click the link and you can bring you right into the studio.
Yeah. Come on with us, have a chat. I know Russ likes to have a chat. Hayden, you can come on. I know Jamie's playing FIFA, but Bertrand has Bertrand been on before? I have a feeling Bertrand's been on before, hasn't he? Or one of our channels. I think Bertrand's been on one of our channels before, I think, a long time ago.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong name. Anyway, anyone's welcome to come on.
So let's get on with the Giroud debate.
Oh, here we go, Giroud.
Here we go, this fucking Giroud debate. Go on then, Nitesh, you kick things off.
So I was saying in January that year, when Walcott was just declared, I think he was injured at that point of time, Wenger did a press conference when Arsenal was linked with a lot of forwards, and someone asked him, so Wenger, which forward are you planning to sign? Because I think, as I said, Walcott is injured and you got only Oliver Giroud in your team and you are looking like title contenders. So which forward do you think you will be signing in January? And Wenger came out and said, no, we don't need any forwards. We have Giroud. This is what he said. Not the exact words, but this is what he said. And after that, Giroud flopped. Flopped. We lost that title to Leicester of all teams. And everyone blames Giroud after that. When we had the chance, when we knew that Walcott was either injured or on the verge of being injured, he wasn't fully fit, and we had Yaya Sonogo as backup, we should have quietly gone and gotten a forward, even if a loanee. We did not. Wenger came out and said, no, we don't want another striker. Now, if the case, giving you an example of Chelsea, Tammy Abraham started off his first season very well. After 15 odd games, he sucked. He literally sucked. Giroud replaced him at 33 as the first choice striker. Same thing happened with other players at Chelsea. I don't need to give a lot of names. Even Harry Kane has his bad in and out of form kind of you can say he has those run of forms where he can't score. So either Son comes in and scores those crucial goals, or Lucas Moura or someone else. Initially, when he was injured in that season, when they went to the Champions League final, Llorente did it. So every club, Manchester United, Rashford had a time where people were saying Rashford isn't good enough for Manchester United. And then he started scoring and went on a round of around 10, 15 games where he kept scoring. Then he went back into his cave and he stopped scoring. So the thing is, one striker will never win you the league. It is up to the club to get a good backup. We got Yaya Sonogo when Walcott was injured, and that is why we lost the league. So at the end, I don't blame Giroud for anything that happened that season. It was expected after one point of time. I think before January, when he was scoring, I think he scored in 16, 17 consecutive games. So that is what happens when you have a striker, only one striker who's capable enough to be at a Premier League level. You need a second backup. But the club and Wenger said, no, we don't need another striker because we got Giroud. And when he started flopping, the fans couldn't stop abusing him.
See,
No,
I agree.
yeah,
I
go
agree
on,
with
Daniel.
I agree with you. I agree with you to a point, Nitesh. But I'm not dissing Giroud. See, I was a big fan of Giroud before he left, and I was one of the people that didn't want to let him go, even though we were bringing in Aubameyang. I wanted to keep him. Where my issue with Giroud is after he left the club, it's that whole rubbing it in Arsenal's face with the Europa League, coming out with these shitty comments about how Chelsea is a step up, and which completely I'm not buying at all, because we're in the same position. We're in the same position, and I'm just fed up of this whole players leaving Arsenal and then actually shitting on Arsenal. Because I'll tell you something now, I wouldn't be surprised if in 5 or 6 years' time that he comes out and does another Alexis Sanchez and go, I wish I stayed at Arsenal. Because you remember Sanchez, do you know what I mean? I'm sick of players thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, and then it turns out to be their careers end up failing. Fair enough, right? Giroud, go to Chelsea, right? That's what you wanted. Fair enough, right? Get that. But don't slag off a former club that you played for when we gave you all this blooming, when Ozil was having the best season of his life, you couldn't hit a fucking barn door. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't even score on the pitch, let alone in a fucking Merseyside hotel. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ. And then you want to come out and diss fans that were loyal to you. Okay, yes, some weren't loyal to you, but majority of the fans, when you left, majority of the fans actually wanted to keep you. Said, "Oh no, we should be keeping Giroud."
See, I will revert to that before there are two parts of that. The first one which was again the reason I was saying about the whole thing, because you were saying that when Mesut Ozil had the season of his career, he couldn't score goals. This is the part that I was referring to. Every striker has that out of form run in a season. Now he had a longer one, but even when he was scoring, he had a long good run of form as well. So, but we did not have a backup for him, and so Wenger had no other choice. He had to keep playing him every game. And yeah, before we get into the second part about that diss, which you are saying is a diss, Sam wanted to say something about the same, so we can have that, and then we can go into the second part of things.
Well, the issue with me, the whole issue with Giroud was, yes, I agree that he maybe should have been rested, or there should have been some kind of rotation, and that is Wenger's fault for not bringing in another forward that was really good enough to rotate with him. But at the end of the day, I mean, he just didn't perform, and after Christmas that time, he just completely shut off, and top strikers don't do that. Top strikers don't shut off. Jamie Vardy doesn't shut off for half a season.
He did for around 10, 12 games.
Well, many games. Well, he wins the. He's been close to winning the Golden Boot for several seasons. So he hasn't really shut off for that amount of time that Giroud did, and the top strikers don't do that. That's for me why Giroud could never really be considered a top striker, and also when it comes down to ability as well, Giroud is one of these players who. He reminds me a lot of Adebayor in the fact that he's one of these players. He's really strange in that sometimes he'll do amazing things, and everyone's like, "Wow, what a player! Wow, incredible." And then for like 3 games in a row, he couldn't fucking pass a ball, or do anything. And then people were like, "Well, what is this guy? Is he good? Is he good? Not good?" Because he kept doing that. He'd have a good game, a great game, or 2 great games, and then he'll be crap again for 3 games. It was just so hard to really make your mind up on whether he's good or not. For me, he just wasn't good enough for Arsenal. He wasn't that top level striker we should have had that we normally have. I mean, Arsenal. That's the thing I've said so many times. You can see it throughout our history. Arsenal, we've had some pretty mediocre squads, previously before the Wenger era and everything. We've had some pretty mediocre squads, but we've always had a really good star striker. That's one of the positions we've always had no problems with. But at that time with just Giroud, he just wasn't good enough. And whether we would have backup or not, he just wasn't good enough. He wasn't world class star level, that we should have had. And that's the issue I had at the time, is we should have had someone better than Giroud, not backup. We should have had Giroud as backup for me. Giroud should have been backup, and we should have had someone even better starting, leading the line for me. And for me, Giroud went missing when we needed him. I'm sorry. Of course, it might have helped rotating him for a few games or whatever. That might have helped him. We don't know. This is one of the things we don't know. It's just speculation. But for me, he didn't do his job. He shut off after Christmas, and he didn't do his job. And that was a contributing factor to us not pushing on to win the league that year.
No, but one thing which I was trying to add was, what happens is when you have a backup. See, now if a player isn't scoring in 3 to 4 games, continuously, and he's not playing well, that backup player comes in, and then he is expected to do something, and this player will get some rest in the same time, and you would never have a player playing for 17 games without scoring. Why it has happened? Because Wenger did not have an option. Otherwise, imagine if today, if Lacazette does not score for 4 or 5 games, won't Arteta replace him with another backup option? Won't he get an Eddie? Won't he start Eddie? Or won't he start, say, maybe Martinelli? Won't he try different things? Won't he try Aubameyang?
But at the same time, if he's playing those 17 games and he doesn't score, that's him not scoring, right? I mean, that's not that is his fault. That is him not playing well enough to score a goal.
No, but that is what you do. That is what you do when your striker doesn't play or score in 4 to 5 games.
I agree. But he's still playing, right? He's still playing. So when he's playing, your job as striker then is to score a goal, and he couldn't do it.
And I understand what you're saying. But what would you do if a player is out of form? If there are always defenders are out of forms, midfielders are out of forms, that is what it means, that they need a break. They need a break. And how do they get a break? Because another substitute or a backup player from the squad comes in and replaces them and starting games till the time they can get their form again, and they can start maybe playing in the practice games, or they can probably play at the under 21 or 23 level and get a few.
I agree with that. Listen, I agree with that. He should have had a player rotate with him when he wasn't scoring for a few games. I agree with that completely. But what I don't agree with is the fact that means Giroud is somehow supposed to be a better player because of it. Because for me, he showed in those 17 games when he didn't score, he showed he wasn't world class for me. That was it. He showed he's not world class.
He was never world class. That is what I'm saying. If someone is saying he was world class, then they need to get.
I'm not saying any of you are saying as well, but I get this sentiment from many Arsenal fans, like Giroud was actually a very good striker for us, a very, very good striker. Yes, he was good, but people build him up bigger than what he was.
He wasn't that Aubameyang. He wasn't Aubameyang.
He wasn't star level. Like we've always had, like before him we had Henry. Before that we've had Wright. Before that it was Alan Smith, and we've always had good strikers.
See, no one can compare him to Henry, or no one can compare him.
No. I'm just saying. I'm not comparing him. I'm just saying we've always had a good striker leading our line, even though the rest of the team's been shit. We've had a good striker, but with that time with Giroud, we didn't even have a good striker. We put so much on his shoulders.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
for me, so many people still build him up like he's this great player for us, and he wasn't a great player for us.
The thing was that he was leading the front line in a crisis where the other best option that we had was Theo Walcott, who was slowly fading in form and had injuries. And the third option was Yaya Sonogo. Now, when you compare him to you know why Wenger decided to play Giroud all those 17 games? Because when I think he started Yaya Sonogo in a game, I think it was a cup game, he got trolled. He got trolled.
I
I
know.
mean,
It's like what's this guy? What? I know. It's
he
terrible.
got trolled.
It's terrible.
He got trolled, and even Giroud was having some personal problems, like Daniel said. And even if
Yeah.
Giroud would have not wanted to start some of those games at that point of time, no, he didn't have any option because Wenger didn't want to get embarrassed. He couldn't play Yaya Sonogo as the first choice striker. Theo Walcott was injured. He didn't go and buy another player in January that season because he wanted to say that no, we can manage with Giroud because I bought Giroud to the club. I know how capable he is. Wenger, in fact, built Giroud up in such a way that this is the only striker that we need. This is the only
Mm,
guy we need. And
yeah.
the fans were saying, no, we need one more striker. We need one more striker. Walcott is in and out of the team. He's injured a lot of times. We need one
Yeah.
more striker. They did not listen. Either the club did not listen, either Wenger did not listen. We don't know exactly, but Wenger came out and gave the statement, no, we do not need another striker. We have Giroud.
Yes. Exactly. But what is your point, Nitesh? I'm trying to figure out what your point is.
I'm saying that everyone only highlights those 16, 17 games out of Giroud's Arsenal career, though they
Right.
people pretend to forget that I think he had a 16, 17 game of run as well, or I think around
Yeah.
15 games, where he scored in every single game consecutively. But the
Yeah.
fact is that when you don't have a backup, every striker comes to a point where they hit a bad run of form. And what happens is you need to have a backup in the squad who comes in and he plays those games. And this guy will come in and become an impact player, slowly regain his form, and then he will start playing again. If you remember one more thing, a lot of people have said this. When Giroud and Walcott were sold in that transfer window, I think it was when Emery's first season, we were looking contenders to win. No, not Emery's first season. Before Wenger's last season, we were looking contenders to win the Europa League. But in January, they let go of both Giroud and Walcott at one window,
No,
and
bad
we were
policy.
dominating. We were dominating the Europa League, and then we lost to Atletico Madrid in a game that we should have possibly in a tie that we should have won. And they let go
Mm.
of them at the wrong time. If we had won that game, we would have made it to the Champions League. If possibly we won the Europa League, and Wenger would have stayed on as well.
I think
Listen. The recruitment policy's been bad, hasn't it, for a long time? We know that. That's been an issue we've had. Yeah. Sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I think we let go of Giroud because that was part of the Aubameyang deal, because Aubameyang came to us. No, Aubameyang came to us. Giroud went to Chelsea and Batshuayi went to Dortmund. So
No.
was one.
That's a troll. That's a troll. Wenger wanted to keep Giroud. Giroud wanted to go to Chelsea.
No, it's not. No, Giroud was used as part of the Batshuayi deal because Chelsea needed a replacement for Batshuayi, so they were after Giroud. But Dortmund needed a replacement for Aubameyang, so they were wanting Batshuayi. It was that you see all the time with these trio club. You know, it's like a domino effect because we were.
Yeah, they want to fill their hole. They want to fill the holes, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So and it linked into it all linked up together. So that's why Giroud ran. Because if you remember, Giroud didn't want to go to Chelsea. He wanted to stay, but the club wanted him to go so we could get in Aubameyang.
No, I think it was the other way around. Giroud wanted to move for first team football because Aubameyang was linked to Arsenal, and we were going to get Aubameyang, and Lacazette was ahead of him in the pecking order. So he wanted to play for France with the World Cup coming up. So he wanted regular football, and that is why he left for Chelsea. And Wenger wanted to keep hold of him.
That's what it was. Yeah, I think that's what it was because I think Giroud wanted to be guaranteed first team football.
Stay. No, Giroud wanted to stay. Do you know why?
I don't think so.
No, do you know why I know? Because that's why it came out. You know, when he dissed Arsenal out of the, after the Europa League, it came out that the reason why he was rubbing it in Arsenal's faces because he wanted to stay. He never wanted to move to Chelsea. It was only after that he moved to Chelsea he started coming out with all these comments, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that it was because he moved to Chelsea. He's now rubbing it in Arsenal's face because he wanted to stay. It wasn't. No, don't get me wrong. I don't think it was anything to do. You go back and look at the articles surrounding.
I have it. I have it in front of me. Oliver Giroud and Theo Walcott wanted to stay at Arsenal, says Arsene Wenger on Friday. That neither Oliver Giroud nor Walcott wanted to depart the Emirates Stadium in the January transfer window, but did so to advance their careers. So that means that they left to play regular football for their career. That is why they left Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Giroud had said that he wanted to play regular football, first team football, because he knew with Aubameyang coming in, his chances would be limited. Because at the time we were playing with one striker, weren't we, up front? With Wenger was playing that one lone striker formation, weren't we? So,
but see, the report I saw, and this was just before we signed Aubameyang, and that's why it held. That's why, because they weren't going to let Aubameyang go until they had in a replacement, and the replacement they went for was Batshuayi from Chelsea, but Chelsea weren't going to let Batshuayi go until they had a replacement for him, and even the guy in charge of Dortmund, I think it's the Dortmund director or something, said that we're not letting Aubameyang go until we get in a replacement. And he said that Batshuayi was their replacement, but Chelsea weren't going to let Batshuayi go until they had a replacement. Because if you remember, Chelsea was struggling for a striker as well. It was kind of like that domino effect.
I'll tell you what, Chadwick just made a brilliant comment. I love this comment. He says, Giroud is like a tuna fish sandwich. They smell like shit, but you'll eat one if it has enough mayo on it. Giroud play always looked slow and smelly, but he always gave results. I'd say that's a pretty comment. Because it's like that, yeah. I mean, some games he was amazing, and other games he was like, what are you doing? You couldn't hit a barn door from 5 feet. I mean, he was so frustrating like that,
He was better for France. And also,
he fit their system better, didn't he?
I also think Giroud fits Chelsea's system better than he did ours.
Yeah,
exactly. Because his main strength is holding the ball and the aerial presence. But we never used to play aerially. We used to play on the ground.
I know. I agree with you so much, Nitish. I know this is something you keep saying. I agree. There's the one thing with Wenger. Wenger's supposed to be this great oracle of a manager. I rarely get on Wenger's back, really, but a few of the things he did were just completely mind-boggling, baffling. And one of them was we played tactics where we're playing this intricate football, in triangles, passing along the ground, low crosses, low passes, passing around the box, to try and create something, basically all along the ground. And then we've got Giroud as our main striker, who basically his main assets are holding the ball up for others and heading the ball. He's best in the air. If we would have played crosses with Tierney and like a good right back who can cross the ball, we had Liverpool's. If Giroud was playing with Liverpool, basically with their fullbacks, he would probably score loads of goals because he suits that aerial play. And then we didn't play like that. We played along the ground, so of course we didn't get what we wanted out of Giroud. And I can never figure that out with Wenger, how he didn't see that. He was just so stubborn that way, Wenger, with his what he wanted to do.
Wenger, in his mind, that there was only one way to play football, and he would never deviate from that way.
Exactly,
he'd never have a plan B, and that's why he failed. He was a one-trick pony, and one more it worked in the early 2000s because we only had Man United to compete against. It's not going to work in today's Premier League where you've got so many different styles of football in one league, and where the way to get any success in that league is you have to adapt game by game to the level of opposition and to the style of opposition you're playing. He just thought that he could get away with playing that one style of football. But unfortunately, when you come up against a Stoke on a Tuesday night when it's pissing down with rain, that style of football is not going to work because they're just going to rough you up.
And ironically, Daniel is the one who pointed it out that Giroud fitted well in Chelsea's system, and that is why he said it was a step up. There goes your second point for him to move from Arsenal to Chelsea. That was one of the reasons why he said, because he went to a club which played to his system, where he could play
Yeah.
exactly the way he wanted. And that is why it may or may not be a dig. Arsenal fans take it as a dig, but it was actually a step up for him. And there are other reasons as well. But in terms of tactics, it
Well,
definitely was.
I think it's how you interpret what he means by the step up, because I think, like you say, personally as a player, the way he played and the way he got more involvement and played better with Chelsea with their system, for him it felt like it was a step up for him personally. I think as a player, but as a club, Chelsea's never going to be a step up, is it? It's never ever going to be a step up to Arsenal.
That's what he meant when he said it's a step up.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
He said.
Sorry, I'm just going to do something.
He said.
I'll be right back.
No worries, Sam. Like I say, guys, if any of you want to jump on, the link is there. So do click on the link and come right in. You know, there's no, you can come and have your say, and so do click on the link. Not many people active today as well. Must be must be a Tuesday. It must be a Tuesday night. Must be a Tuesday night fuck fest or something. You know, like just
celebrating the Aubameyang extension.
Yeah. They're all just congratulating themselves.
Yeah, so there are a few things with respect to that. Step one, given one of the reasons I've given you why it felt like a step up for him. That is one main reason. Second thing, at that point of time, we were not finishing in the top four. Chelsea were finishing in the top four a bit more regularly than us, even though they didn't, even for one season when Mourinho's last season. They won the league as well during that time. They won it twice, in fact, in the last 5 years. As a club, they were doing better. We had Unai Emery.
Yeah, but he wasn't there. Chelsea wasn't there. I mean, Giroud wasn't there then. But I'm on about the time that he was at Chelsea. I'm not on about the times before. And
he went to Chelsea. He went to Chelsea at a time when they had just won the Premier League title, and the next season he went to them. So he went to the Premier League champions. One. Second thing, they finished in the top.
You don't count the time. No, but you don't count the times before that. You count the times. You count the times that you're a player at that club. You can't just go, I'm going to Arsenal because Arsenal's a bigger club because they won more titles. That's not like, if you don't win another title at that club, that doesn't go on your CV as a career.
Not in the CV, but obviously
you just count the times where you won stuff at that club with that club.
No, I understand what you're saying. It doesn't go into the CV, but it goes into the mentality and the mentality of champions who are trying to defend their title and various other factors. If they have won the league in the last 5 years, it will obviously, if he's coming from a club that is not looking like anywhere near title contenders, he'll obviously call it a step up. Apart from that, if you're also saying that with respect to that season, Chelsea finished in the top 4 again, and we did not. Whether we want to blame it on anything, we did not, unfortunately, finish in the top 4 again. And Chelsea managed to finish in with respect to the year that they won the Europa League, they had already finished in the top 4. They won the Europa League as well. So after that, if he's saying, because Arsenal has not finished in the top 4 and for whatever reason we messed it up, he says that it was a step up, then I think I can agree with him. It was a step up. But now this Arsenal is a different one. This Arsenal under Arteta has won titles, and now Chelsea hasn't. So right now, if some player comes, but still again, then you can argue the fact that they have finished in the top 4, we haven't. So now it is like, because we have won a title, you can say it is more of a 60-40 where Chelsea is still being favored. Any player will want to go to Chelsea right now because of the fact that they're in the Champions League and their overall history is good and they're spending money and heading in the right direction with respect to player recruitment. We have slowly started doing that. So I don't disagree with the fact him saying that he stepped up, like it was a step up for him to go to Chelsea. Why do fans need to get pissed about and relate it to history? It is about his current situation. He went from a club that was finishing in the top 6 or in the top 8 to a club that was more often finishing in the top 4 and had won 2 Premier League titles in the last 5 years, if not more in the past decade or 2 decades. So I think, yes, he has a right to say that. a lot of players say that when they go to a club that is doing well, it does not mean that the club that they left from was shit. He didn't say that Arsenal was shit. He said that I moved to a club and it felt like a step up, or moving to Chelsea was a step up, because obviously, as I said, they were the reigning champions at that point of time, even though he didn't win it. But that mentality shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we need to stop reacting to these comments, because if they want to say like Arsenal is crap, or they wanna troll Arsenal, they will literally use the word Arsenal rather than saying that if he felt like it was a step up, and because there were other factors as well. People who do analysis of these things can better understand that it doesn't necessarily mean it was a dig. I think Courtois said that Real Madrid is a bigger, like the stadium, the Bernabeu looks bigger than Stamford Bridge in terms of size. In terms of size and overall capacity, Bernabeu is anyways bigger. And the view if you see from the Bernabeu, it is bigger. Now, any practical Chelsea fan will understand what he's trying to say. That I've never been in such a big stadium before. But Chelsea fans started to rant that Courtois is a snake. He's taking a dig at Chelsea because he's saying that Real Madrid is a bigger club than Chelsea just because he said the Bernabeu is bigger than Stamford Bridge. So
to be fair, their stadium is shit though. Chelsea's. I went there, and it's on a blooming sewer, and it is a shit stadium.
See, that is the thing. Fair. When the players say something, they don't often read between the lines. But the fans tend to only read between the lines and get pissed off at a lot of things. Now, if you see overall Giroud's career, he's won an FA Cup, he's won a Europa League, he's won the World Cup with France while he has been at Chelsea. So will he not feel that I have stepped up in a way? I had not done this before and I've won a few titles here. Will he not feel confident enough? Will he not feel at least a 5% or 10% arrogance in his tone? He definitely will. Anyone who has won the Europa League, anyone who has won the FA Cup, anyone who has won the World Cup, all 3 titles in such a short span at a club where he was not even maybe supposed to be the first choice striker, he will obviously feel positive about it and feel that he did step up. Maybe he would have not been selected had he been at Arsenal, because Wenger was favouring Lacazette over Giroud, while Giroud was benching Lacazette for France. So as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right, I'm back.
Sam's back in the building.
Do you want me to read some comments?
Yeah, go for it, Sam.
Yeah, so Russ Morgan was basically saying France always pick Giroud ahead of Laka. Yeah, that's what they do because he suits their system better. Taib is saying Wenger's not a football manager, he's a politician. He pretty much was, wasn't he, at the end?
Yeah.
Chadwick saying, how did Giroud's win and not fall off his time at Arsenal? Sankalp, big up Sankalp in the chat. Daniel Levy is asked about Bale during the negotiations for Reguilon. That's the left back they're going after. Bale's agent Jonathan Barnett just confirmed to BBC Gareth still loves Spurs. We are talking. It's there. It's where he wants to be. But it's going to cost them. How are they going to pay for his wages?
Yeah. Why? Apparently, I saw that Man United want him as well.
I think Manchester. They should let Manchester United sign him. He will be another Alexis Sanchez for them, and he'll sink their club.
By the way, guys, I just have to eat some food, so sorry about that. I'm just going to be eating in the background here. So
imagine from signing Jadon Sancho to signing Gareth Bale.
I know Mark Goldbridge went absolutely ballistic when he saw that rumor. It was hilarious.
Yeah, imagine if they end up signing Gareth Bale actually.
Well, you can see Gareth Bale sort of going back to Tottenham. I can see that, but I just don't see how they're going to pay his wages. I mean, the guy's on like $500K a week, whatever it is.
Yeah. They will sell off the new stadium and go back to White Hart Lane.
Yeah, let's put back White Hart Lane the way it was.
Fucking White Hart Lane! What a dump that was, White Hart Lane. Jesus Christ! You need a bodyguard. Yeah. You need a bodyguard to get in and out of there. Jesus Christ!
I remember Sankalp is adding it that it is loan with 40% pay. Real Madrid is just trying to get the wages off. But even if it is like 40% pay, they have to pay 200K a week at least minimum.
I was reading today that Messi makes over £100 million a year.
Yep.
Wow.
From his sponsorships and stuff.
Hey,
And
Messi, do you want to give Arsenal 45 million so we can buy Thomas Partey?
we got 45 million. We just need the intent.
Could you imagine that would be the next things that Arsenal fans will do? They'll do a fundraiser for Thomas Partey's release clause. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I said that we should do a crowdfunding. You know, one of those.
Yeah.
All the fans in the world as a crowdfunding.
You know, we must be the only club to track planes. We must be the only club to stalk family members. You know, the next thing will be, oh, come on, guys, let's raise this money for the release clause. Like, Jesus,
yeah.
Right.
I'll just
say what. I'm going to say this. Say there's 10. There's got to be at least 10 million Arsenal fans worldwide, right?
Yeah.
So they get 10 million in a crowdfunding. They give £5 each. That's 50 million.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or imagine it would be ironical if, say, suppose like if Messi came to Arsenal at some point of time, rather than the fans going to the club to sign a player, they will be telling Messi, "You're earning 100 million a season. Why don't you 100 million a season? Why don't you sign a player for us, and we'll pay you later?" The club will be taking loans from Messi.
Exactly.
We got 16.3 million fans on Twitter.
Yeah. Worldwide, we've got a lot of fans.
Yeah, if everyone gives like a quid, you know.
Yep. And Sankalp is saying OR got a red card today. He was starting.
That's typical Arsenal, then, isn't it?
So that just confirms that he's coming to Arsenal. I can do a video on that. I approve.
Yeah,
he's coming to Arsenal.
Yeah, sorry. He got a red card, so he must be coming to Arsenal because Arsenal wear red and white.
Yeah.
Jesus
No, he's
Christ.
trying to do one better over Granit Xhaka. Xhaka
Partey's coming to Arsenal because he wiped his ass with Arsenal toilet paper, so it must be true. Like, Jesus Christ.
No, the other thing could be that he got a red card because he wants to come to London and negotiate his contract.
Yeah, Partey's coming to Arsenal because his wife's got a red tampon. Not the fact that she's on her period, just because it's got the colours of Arsenal. That would be the sort of thing that Arsenal fans will just look at. You know what I mean? It's just mad.
And Chadwick is asking what Sam is eating. I think he's eating a sandwich from what I can imagine.
I'm eating a kebab now.
But you were eating a sandwich before, or a burger?
What are the kebabs like in Norway? Are they
it's like a bit like a pizza bread that comes with it.
What's the kebabs like in Norway?
They're not bad. They're not bad. Yeah. We do it slightly different over here. We don't do it like you guys do it over there. But yeah,
you don't get doner. You don't get doner and all that.
No, just basically put loads of different meat. Well, not different meat, but meat all together. You know, with a few spices and that, a few vegetables, and it goes with some chips. We put chips in it.
Yeah,
wow.
I bet Brownie has been feeding those hookers some deek kebab. Deek kebab.
Deek kebab.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mad.
I'm hungry. I feel hungry now. It's already 1:30 here. 1:30 here.
I love Indian food.
I ate a double quarter pounder with cheese meal today from McDonald's, and then I had a chicken and bacon sandwich from Marks and Spencer. So
lovely.
Decent.
I bet you don't eat the same food we have. I mean, Indian food for us, I bet it's not the same as it is for you. I bet, right?
No, it isn't. The one that you eat is generally like you can say a special preparation or an occasional thing. They wouldn't sell dal rice or like at a restaurant, obviously, unless someone like, you can say basically what you can try is a khichdi, maybe, if you have eaten one. I don't think they even sell that, and I don't think you guys must even know how to pronounce that properly.
What? What's that?
What about pillar rice? Do you guys eat that over there? Like
Which one?
Pilau
rice.
Pulao. You mean pulao?
Pillar rice.
Yeah, it's actually like a fried rice, but
Yeah.
you can say a simpler version.
Oh, okay. Do you guys eat vindaloo and stuff over there, or is it just like an English thing? Like,
What's the vindaloo?
okay, that tells me that you don't know that you don't eat vindaloo. Then so
Isn't vindaloo just the level of spiciness?
because you got a vindaloo, then you got a fowl. A fowl is like there's supposed to be like the hottest curry. Like
Vindaloo. Basically, we just like we have these names for how strong they are. You know how spicy they are. And vindaloo is supposed to be very spicy.
And then like down from that, you got a madras and jalfrezi.
No, it is like it's a Goan dish, so I don't know much about it. I don't know about it. Maybe someone from Goa may know about it.
What do you guys eat there in Mumbai? What's like a Mumbai dish?
It's Mumbai dish is like vada pav and pav bhaji maybe. Vada pav is like like a potato. What you can say? What do you call a pakoda? Like a round it's like an Indian burger, you can say, where instead of the burger it will be pav. You can call that as a bread. Like you cut it in between, you have two sides of it like a burger, and you put the filling in between.
Right.
So if you I'll put it in the private chat what it is called. And the second one is pav bhaji. I think you guys must be knowing, because it is like you have the same kind of breads to eat it with, but there is a separate vegetable curry made, which you dip the pav in the vegetable curry and you eat it like as you eat chapati and vegetables kind of.
Right.
It's like Chinese food, isn't it? When you go to all proper Chinese food, when you have proper authentic Chinese food, it's nothing like that you get in Chinese restaurants over here. It's very similar. It's very similar, but not the same. So probably if you go to London's Chinatown and stuff, you probably get
Those are bland.
close to authentic food.
Those Chinese ones are actually bland. The original Chinese ones, they're totally bland. No Indian food is bland. You won't find any Indian food that's bland.
And if you go to Chinese, you're more likely to be eating flaming Labrador and bats and things like, than actual decent food, Like,
Yep. Just don't eat the bats.
Yeah. Mind you, since this whole pandemic thing, apparently the Chinese have put a ban on people eating Labradors and stuff, like, which is mad. I can't understand why anybody would want to eat a dog. Like, it's just.
Well, I suppose it goes back to the older times when you basically you eat what's in front of you, right? I mean, that's all you got, right? That's what you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only animal that I would prefer to eat is pussy.
Pussycats.
I didn't say cat.
I was going to say, if someone put a cheesy pussy in front of me, I wouldn't want to eat that. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
People in the chat must be wondering what happened to the football.
Yeah. Well, we got talking about food. Fuck knows how we got on from bloody football to Indian food to cheesy pussy.
Right, so what's the next topic then?
Do smash a like on this video, guys. What have you got in the comments? So
Sankalp has been talking about the different food. Saying pork vindaloo is famous in Goa. Interesting, yeah.
That does sound quite nice, actually.
Ted is saying, that it's an interesting fact that tikka masala is actually invented in the UK. It's a UK invention of an Indian food. It's not actually invented in India.
Some people believe I don't know where it is written here on Google. Some people believe it was invented in the 1970s by a Bangladeshi chef in Glasgow, Scotland. So
Food I
Shagab
like. I'm
says,
not really big on Indian food. I'm more of a steak person and stuff like that. You know, like
yeah, because the thing is, if you eat Indian food right, like every day, you'll probably have to do 90% of your streams from the toilet.
and
Sam,
Shagab saying,
what? I was going to say, what's the biggest steak you've ever ate?
not that big actually. Well, yeah, I've eaten one big one. I'll tell you what, it was probably one of the best steaks I've ever had. It was in America, in California, in Napa City, by the Napa Valley, and just came by chance by this restaurant, and it was a steak restaurant, and they had some big steaks, and I can't remember how big it was. I'm trying to think. I think it was close to. It was close to a kilo. I'm pretty sure it was getting close to a kilo, nearly about 800 grams, I think.
How many ounces? How many?
Oh, I don't know what the grams to ounces. Bloody hell, crikey! Let me see.
Yeah, the best steak that I ate was my ex.
The biggest steak I ate was a 48-ounce steak in Bolton. There's a place in Bolton that does a 48-ounce steak.
Let me see. I think I did 800 grams. So 20 up. Oh, yeah, I did 30. It's about 30 ounces.
30 ounces. Yeah. I know that in Amarillo, Texas, you can get a 72-ounce, which that is on my bucket list. When this COVID shit calms down, I want to go to Amarillo just to eat a 72-ounce steak.
I'll tell you what, but this steak though, it was special. It'd been like dry aged, like marbled for like 4 months or something like that. I mean, it was incredible. The taste was just, just melted in your mouth. You know, it was just incredible, and it was really, really nice. Yeah, really, really good taste. Really nice flavor. Where's your favorite place to eat steak then, Danny? Is like you got like a favorite place you eat steak, or?
To be honest, wherever does the biggest.
Did they have Miller and Carter? Was it called Miller and Carter, that chain? Do they have that down where you are?
Yeah, they've got Miller and Carter. The thing is with Miller and Carter is it's so expensive and you get very little for what you pay for. So like you're looking at dropping 35 to 40 quid for an 8-ounce steak. You know, I mean, granted it's a good cut of steak, but it's expensive. You know, it is proper expensive.
Have you tasted Wagyu?
Have I tasted? No, I've not tasted that.
I have. It's amazing. Very expensive.
It is a lot of decent food's expensive. Duck's expensive. I love duck, but it is very expensive.
I love fuck, but I don't know about duck. Not
Go into fuck a duck and see what you get.
Now people in the chat are also talking about steak.
Yeah, that's not hoisin. That's not hoisin sauce on your duck.
Yeah, the Wagyu is really, really, really expensive because it's so nice. I mean, it's so special, isn't it? I mean, those cattle, the Wagyu cattle, the way they're treated better than most people. Tastes really, really nice flavor, really good flavor. Very expensive, like I said, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I like going to America for the food, man. America has decent food, better food than over here. Like, you just go to America and there's every kind of different food, varieties of food, and I go to America for a week, right, and I come back about 10 pounds heavier than I went.
Well, America's great for food, isn't it? I mean, America's.
Yeah.
I mean, in the South, you got all the barbecue stuff, the Creole stuff, all that. I mean, that's incredible. The slow cook stuff, and then You got all the steaks and that in the Midwest. You know, so much good food, isn't there, in America? I love it.
Yeah, I love all the food in America. It's amazing. They have some good Mexican restaurants as well over in America. Good Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Mexican food, burritos. The only thing I was disappointed, so like I went to Chicago, and they're like, Chicago obviously claims to have the best pizza, like the deep dish pizza. I tried
it's
some
like
of
a
it.
pie. It's like a pie, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice, but it sits so heavy on you. Like if you eat that, you ain't gonna eat for a week. Do you know what I mean? Because it literally just sits.
There's a hell of a lot in it, isn't there? Because it's like a pie. It's like a big, thick pie.
Yeah, it looks like this massive quiche when they bring it out. It looks like a quiche.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are they saying in the comments? What are they?
So Sandcup's just saying Emmy has just posted a thank you Arsenal post on Instagram, so he's on his way.
Yeah.
Chadwick says, Daniel, do you ever eat vegetables or fruits? He says he can only hear about you eating burgers, chips, and steaks.
Do I ever eat vegetables or fruit? I asked my wife about that. Do I ever eat vegetables or fruit? The only vegetable I eat broccoli, and I eat the occasional banana. But as far as eating veg and fruit, I must admit I am not a good vegetable eater. Like I should eat more veg.
Sandcup says Torreira's commented on the Instagram, saying the best in this new stage, friend. I'm going to miss you, blah blah blah, because they were good friends, weren't they? Chadwick's saying to me, he was wondering if I went to Cole's Steakhouse in Napa, if that was the place. I can't quite remember the name, Chadwick, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up Cole's Steakhouse as soon as I finish eating now, and I'm going to look it up. And if it could be the place, Cole's. It sounds familiar. Saeed says, LOL, Chadwick, Daniel should eat poon. That's a nice vegetable. Nice a ripe poon.
Yeah.
Chadwick says, they age their steaks and they don't let you order it. Well done, which is good. Yeah, I think it could be the place, Chadwick. It could be the place. Cheddar says, Miller and Carter is a letdown. Have you chaps ever had rabbits? Really nice. Yes, I've tasted rabbits. Very nice. Should I tell you guys a meat you probably haven't eaten that's very, very flavorful and very nice? It's like quite sweet.
What's that?
Not trying Brazilian dwarfs.
I haven't tried human flesh, so I haven't tried that yet. No, horse meat.
They had that in Tesco's, didn't they, a while back in the supermarkets?
Because what they do over here, not so much as they used to, but over here, horses that were like going to be put out to pasture have been been working horses or whatever, on farms or that type of thing. They would butcher them basically for meat. And tell you what, the horse meat is nice. It's really nice.
Yeah. Tell you what is nice as well. When I was in Australia, I tried crocodile and camel.
Did you eat Crocodile Dundee?
Crocodile's really nice, actually. Cooked crocodile on the barbecue. That's what we did in Australia. So when we went to the outback, and we stayed in Uluru, close to Ayers Rock, and we had a barbecue one of the evenings, and we cooked camel and crocodile, and it was really nice. It was really nice.
I hope
you was out in the middle of nowhere, weren't you? You was out in Alice Springs, weren't you? And that, I mean, it's amazing what you did out there.
Yeah.
You went all over Australia, didn't you?
Yeah. So started off in Cairns, which is the northern part of Australia, which is the tropical humid part. Went out to the Great Barrier Reef, which was amazing. Listen, if you can get past the 24-hour odd flight, it is amazing. Went up into the rainforest, into Mothman Gorge, and
I
went up to Kuranda Village, which was really, really nice up there. You're just in this little village, and all around you is rainforest. And then we took the oldest railway down from Kuranda Village all the way back down into Cairns. And then we went to Ayers Rock. Not really much to do there. It was just desert, and and you just had all this the domes with the Aboriginal artwork, which was really nice. We did boomerang throwing. We actually met some of the Aboriginals. They're very, different culture, which is really nice. I like seeing different cultures. See what people do, and they have no concept. Aboriginals have no concept of money, so for their entertainment they'll buy big £100 million cars and they'll just blow them up. They'll just set fire to them because they have no concept of money. They don't know the value of money.
Yeah. So that's someone work at Arsenal.
They should. They should. But then we went to Sydney. Sydney was nice. It was a bit kind of like a hot version of London with a beach, but it was really nice, Sydney. And then Melbourne. Didn't really like Melbourne, if I'm being honest. Melbourne was a bit too. It was kind of like an Aussie version of Manchester. So it is honestly Melbourne, because Melbourne they have a tram system as well, and because there's so many different, like you got the inner city and it is like Manchester, then you go out to places like St Kilburn and Fitzroy, you've got the beaches out there. But Melbourne's such a big place. I didn't really like Melbourne. There wasn't really much to do.
It's interesting you say that, because a lot of people I speak to who've been to Australia, they prefer Melbourne over Sydney, But anyway, it's all horses for courses, isn't it? It's different tastes, different likes.
Yeah. See, the thing with Sydney is it's got nice. It's got nice parks. They've even got a Hyde Park in Sydney, which is weird, because you go to Sydney and you're in Hyde Park, a bit like London.
Well, they've obviously copied it from London, haven't they? Surely,
And then you've got you've got Bondi Beach, which is
that just must be tourist mecca, basically, isn't it?
Thing is with Bondi Beach is it's not. I enjoyed it, but I preferred the beaches up in Cairns, with the tropical climate, the tropical, the nice calm waters. The only thing is you have to be fucking careful of jellyfish. Especially when I went, because I went in midsummer in jellyfish season. You have to be careful of those fuckers, otherwise you just get some of them are deadly as well. The box.
Yeah, you got the box. Yeah, I was just going to say the box jellyfish is quite lethal, isn't it? Yeah.
If you get stung by that, you're pretty much dead within 90 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Letitia knows about the box jellyfish. It's just a different type of box.
No, I was just gonna say that I hope, Daniel, when you were having croc meat, you didn't say I like croc.
I'll put another cock on the barbie, please.
But this cock is really nice.
Honestly, right, guys. If you ever get a chance to go to Australia,
it's on my bucket list.
I would well recommend it. I mean, you've got to get over the flight, and you've got
I don't mind long haul because I normally fly business, save up. I normally save up if I'm going to plan to go somewhere far. I normally save up a bit and go business.
Yeah, that's what me and my wife was going to do, but because we went with a load of people, we went as like a group holiday. with other blind people as well. So it was kind of like mixed sighted and blind people. We was like, oh, we both said, oh, it'd be a bit rude, innit, if we just upgraded to business class. As it happened, we got there, and on the way back, there was one person in our group that was like, I'm going business class home. I ain't doing this long haul flight. She went and upgraded herself to business class from Melbourne back to London.
Right.
Because it's mad, right? We went from Heathrow to Singapore, and then Singapore down into Cairns. But I tell you what, you do Singapore flight, and it's like 14 hours, and you get off and you think fuck for that, and then you forget that you've got another 6-7 hours from Singapore to Cairns.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a bit, you have to have a lot of audio books or films.
Oh God, yeah.
You've got to to sleep, because it is a long haul. After that, the first flight's not too bad, but when you've got another 8 hours when you get off that plane.
Yeah.
And we went with so we went from Singapore to Cairns. We went with the franchise of Singapore, which was the localized airline for like Western Asia and that, and Australia, and it was Silk Air. And I tell you what, them aircrafts are shite. It's like flying across Asia and Australia in a tin can. Do you know what I mean? They had no entertainment or nothing, right? They had food and drink, but not much of it. They were running out of stuff. And you had to sit 7 hours on it was horrible. Like never ever go with Silk Air, because it is shit, absolutely shit. If you're gonna go with Singapore Air, go with the main Singapore Airlines.
Singapore Airlines is good, yeah, they're very good.
Well, we went with Singapore from Heathrow to Singapore. We had the main Singapore airline, which was decent, because they are probably the best airline for if you're unfortunate and you've got to go economy, then Singapore is probably the airline to do.
Yeah, they're good. Should I go through the chat? Should I just say some stuff in the chat? Yeah. So Cheddars is saying, if you live in the UK, we've all had horse meat without knowing. It's making the point you said. Chadwick is saying he likes elk or deer meat, especially the back strap. I was thinking he probably likes a strap on as well.
I do like the New York back strap. Yeah, the New York back strap.
He likes a strap on with the elk and the venison. Sankam talking about Amy. He had an interview. I think he's had like a goodbye interview or something like that. Had the right spirit, true Gooner. Yeah, sad to let him go, of course. Yep. Chadwick saying is talking about the Aborigines. How do they get money? Then, if they've got no concept of money, how do they get it? So we answer that in a minute. And he's saying also kangaroo. He was wondering if a kangaroo's kicked you, if you got kicked by a kangaroo while he was there. And last question he had, it's just quite a funny one. Is Daniel? He said, "How's a blind swinging party? A swingers party?" That's what do you know? This is a bit. It's a bit random, is it?
So I'll answer all of those questions. So as for the blind swingers party, I have never ever been to a blind swingers party. So
now Daniel will organize one soon.
Jesus Christ, you lot are mad. As for the questions about the Aboriginals, Chadwick, is that Aboriginal artwork is very, very valuable. So they design their own artwork, and if you see some Aboriginal artwork, you're looking at, depending on the design and stuff, you're looking at thousands of pounds. If you want to purchase art, like proper Aboriginal artwork, you're looking. It's very, very expensive, very, very high in value. That's how they make their money, because you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars for Aboriginal artwork. because it's all custom made. See, that's all they do is they make artwork, and some of the artwork on Ayers Rock as well is very, very sacred. Along with a lot of the artwork that they sell is very, very sacred to them. But yeah, listen, they get their money through for their artwork, and they design other things, like boomerangs, and they're very they're very independent. They live their lives very independently, very self-sufficient. Aboriginals, they cook their own food, they design their own killing tools, they catch their own food. They don't get food from a supermarket. And that they go hunt. They hunt for their food. They hunt. The Aboriginal tribes, they hunt and catch and kill their own food. So yeah, there's a very different way of life
They live like off the grid then type of thing, self-sustained off the grid.
And the outback is very much their territory. The outback, and there's different types of Aboriginal tribes across Australia. There's different types of, in one part there'll be a different tribe of Aboriginals. Then in the outback they have their own tribe. Obviously, Ayers Rock, they protect Ayers Rock. You're now not allowed to climb up Ayers Rock because the Aboriginals they wanted a law passed because it was sacred. So you can now no longer climb Ayers Rock. From I think it was 2019 they stopped. It was the last climb. And also they don't like to talk about death. So because there's a lot of deaths happen when people climb in Ayers Rock, they treat every death as a real tragic loss. They take it to heart more than we would. They're very, very, they like to honor the dead and make carvings, and it's really, really, really fascinating. Really, really fascinating. And they're very friendly people as well. They're very, very, they're very, very welcoming and very, 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 very nice people. But you do have to respect their way of way of life, respect their culture, respect them for what they believe in. But yeah, they are very, very friendly people.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, so the gist of the story is climb the cock, but don't climb the rock.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cheddar's thinks
and if your cock's not a rock, then you're fucked.
Yeah, your cock's not a rock. Then you're fucked.
Yeah, don't climb the rock, but climb the cock. And if it's not a rock, you're fucked. Try saying that when you've had a few beers.
Yeah, that won't work, will it? Anyway, Chad is saying a blind swingers party sounds interesting. Is it your wife? Is it someone else's wife? We don't know. We never know.
Yeah.
No, you never know whether it is even a female. It's a blind swingers party.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's funny. Somebody told me a joke as well. So like they say apparently all Japanese people look the same, right? So could you imagine a Japanese person describing their latest bird to their mate? Oh yeah, she's got beautiful eyes, high cheekbones, and you could just imagine his mate going, "Oh my god, you're fucking my sister." Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell.
Anyway, so he wants to see the girl Nitish was talking to on the phone. So I don't think we'll be able to see that, but I don't know. And Ched is saying Nitish would be a good
not
host.
Till I get what I want.
You haven't been following as many. You haven't been liking and following as many girls lately, Nitish. I've seen on Twitter. You haven't been so crazy doing that lately.
I got active on Tinder again, so.
Oh, that's what it is, right? Okay, I get it now. Yeah.
Fucking
no, I don't
Tinder. How can
I
you?
don't
How
have
do
time.
you? How do you guys like fucking Tinder, man? Jesus Christ!
Well, I don't use it. I don't use it.
I don't like it. They keep sending me notification. Your profile is hidden.
Jesus Christ! It's just. Oh
My
my
my first
God.
my first reaction when they say my profile is hidden is that what did it anyways do when it wasn't?
Yeah. Tinder's all bullshit anyway. It's all just fucking, it's crazy, stupid. Anyway, Ched is saying Natish would be a good host on Take Me Out. Oh,
I haven't seen
Oh,
Take Me Out.
that program with Paddy. Is it Paddy? Is it Paddy?
not sure.
Are you on about the UK show, Cheddars? The Take Me Out.
Take Me Out.
Yes, it's a UK show.
Tinder in India, millions and millions of choices. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
it's
wonder
a
if
None of you guys want to come on then? You just want to sit there in a chat and just
come on.
chat to be
You want
cool.
to be
You don't want to come on
brave.
here.
Be
You don't want to
brave.
come on here. You don't want to come on here and be with us, chat with us here.
There's 5 of you watching. One of you be brave. Come on, be brave. Be brave.
Yep. Paddy McGuinness.
Paddy
I don't
McGuinness.
know the show, but I'll host it if they pay me.
Yeah.
Chadwick's at work, so he can't come on. Oh well, it's a shame.
Yeah, it's
probably.
quite taxing job being a gigolo, isn't it, Chadwick?
He's a pimp. He's a pimp.
He's the Cronky's bodyguard because he lives at he's from
Denver.
Colorado,
Yeah.
so he's the Cronky's bodyguard. It's a hard job protecting Stan Kroenke.
God.
But we got 6 people. Come on, one of you's going to be brave. Be brave.
None of them want to come on. They're all scared. Apart from the ones that can't, because they're not available. But
they're like 100. They're like Mustafi when he's on the football pitch.
Even Mustafi has improved now.
Yeah. Even Mustafi's like, fuck this.
Mustafi is actually improved a bit. Didn't think that was possible, but he's improved a bit. Chad is just saying, me and Chadwick are escorts.
Not for each other, I hope. I think there's an app for that. What is it? Nitesh is not really on Tinder, he's on Grindr.
A hole's a hole. A hole's a hole.
I think I can leave the grinding and the whining to her. Liam is in the chat. Liam can come on as
well. Liam, you can come on if you want. There's a link in the chat.
Who's that, Liam?
Liam and Tottenham Liam.
Liam.
See, I can see Cheddars and Chadwick being a right pair of prozzies, standing on the street with lipstick and a gold chain, and I suck your dick for $20. I suck your dick for $20.
Your accent was more New Yorkan. You sounded like somebody from the Bronx, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Suck your dick for $20, man. Suck it real good. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just don't swallow the pubes when you're doing it.
Swallow. I'll swallow it. I should spit. I'll swallow. Daniel, mate, you need to get some light on.
Yeah, it's gone a bit dark. Unfortunately, I can't do anything about it because I've got the lights on, but it's got dark. But yeah, I guess not many people are going to come on, so I guess we might wrap up. I guess we might wrap up soon then because we're all
We have to wrap up. It's just all these chickens don't want to come on, so
we've been going for almost 2 hours. So yeah, just tell people where they can find you, Nitesh.
Yeah, guys, you can find me on Arsenal FC Fans on Facebook. And that is the page for all Arsenal fans who are watching. Big up to you guys as well in the chat and on the panel. Thank you for having me on. And you can also find me on Beyond the Post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If anyone is interested, just drop me a text on Twitter. We can do part 3 of our pandemic alert and possibly do an hour show there as well. And one last thing, I've started a new FPL page yesterday, which is called Total FPL. So if you guys can like it on Facebook as well, that will help as well. Thank you so much for Daniel and Sam for having me on again here today.
Yeah.
Up to you guys.
Sam, Sam, just tell everybody where they can find you.
They can find me on the street corner sucking people up for $20. I'm on the street corner, working hard, grinding. That's what I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
No, I've got my own channel. It's a shit channel no one watches. It's called Sam Greenwood TV. I've got just about as many viewers as Brazilian Dwarf TV. It's much better. And so I have some chat shows sometimes when I can be bothered. I'll have a quiz now and again when I can be bothered. And most of the time I spend my time on these other guys' channels here. So so if you guys could check out my channel, Sam Greenwood TV, subscribe, share the content would be greatly appreciated. And thanks again for having me on. It's been a good laugh as always. And congratulations to all Arsenal fans. Aubameyang signing, it's been great. And have a nice evening.
Yeah,
and just want to add one thing, Daniel. Sam got
quick,
those 70
my battery's about to die, so I need to hit the.
Sam got those 70 subscribers with that $20 intro.
Listen, guys, thanks for tuning in. Listen, I'm gonna have a day off tomorrow, so there'll be no content tomorrow. But then I'll be back Thursday for the preview of the West Ham game. On Saturday, and then again, likewise, we'll be doing a watch along on that game, going on air at 7:30, and I'll possibly do another transfer update on Friday. But yeah, listen, Aubameyang is a Gooner. He's signed an extension. He's staying for another three or 4 years. So all's well with the world. And one thing left to say, and that's come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.